Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the YouTube channel of your favorite Artyshils Art Brushes. This is Aishwarya, the artist behind Aishwarya Expressions on Instagram, who works with watercolors, acrylics and mandalas. Today we are gonna paint an eye with watercolors, and for that we'll need a watercolor sketchbook. You can also use loose watercolor papers, a masking tape, artist grade watercolors, a pencil and an eraser, a glass or a bowl of water, and of course our favorite Artyshils Art brushes, because first of all they look so royal and very soothing to paint with. The brushes hold a lot of paint and they are long lasting as well. For this artwork I'll be using round brushes by Artyshils Art Brushes because they are smooth as butter and suitable for both beginners and professionals. I'll also be using blender brushes set, which are specially designed for blending purposes in our paintings. So let's not delay more and get started. So here's our sketchbook, and I have got the edges taped so that we have a fine finish at the end. Do not forget to watch this video till the end because peeling off the tape is really satisfying. And the first thing that we are gonna do is to sketch the eye out. I'm using a mechanical pencil so that I can have fine sharp lines for the sketch. Now that I'm done with the sketch, I'll be using a blender brush of number 10 to begin with the painting. At first, we'll simply begin with wetting the paper wherever you are gonna paint the skin of the person. As we all know, our skin is uniform and painting anything uniform needs good blending, and that's how blender brushes are coming into work. We'll start with applying the usual skin color when our paper is ready for a wet on wet method for the skin. You can get this color ready by mixing vermilion hue with white. The value of the color will vary according to the area that we are painting. Adding a bit of lemon yellow to the paint will help us show the light in a more prominent way. We'll also be adding brown color to the skin for representing shadows. Make sure you are putting all the colors of the skin while the paper is still wet, because painting skin needs proper blending and wet on wet method is really important for that. Taking up a round brush of number 6, we will take a closer look to the painting as we begin working on the second layer of the skin with dark brown. The more the shadows and folding of the skin, the darker the area will be, and wow! Artyshils Art brushes are so comfortable to paint with. Now it's time for us to work on the main part of the eye, and here as well we will be wetting the paper first for the wet on wet technique, which includes applying paint with a wet brush on a wet paper. Our eyes are watery and that's why wet on wet. The iris is gonna be the most detailed part of the painting, so get ready for that portion which takes the most time. We'll begin with a lighter blue. I've used cerulean blue in this case. You can use anything that's closer to it. A lighter value of the same outside the iris as well. Then we'll be switching to lemon yellow and a bit of yellow ochre for the color around the pupil. Mixing these while painting will give the eye a greenish tinge as well. And of course, all these credits for proper blending of the colors and yet not getting totally mixed up goes to these amazing brushes. Also adding some dark brown for the darker areas and reflections of the iris. Some green will also help to bring out the texture of the same. Our eyes are reddish at both ends, so we'll do the same here. Some kind of a dark grey for light shadow and veins as well. Switching to the second layer of the skin again, continuing with the same brush. You can see how flexible the bristles of these brushes are and how smoothly they move. Like, it's wonderful. Adding some reddish tinge to the other corner of the eye as well. Lifting of colors is also an important process when it comes to watercolors. You'll often need to lift some colors up when you have put them by mistake or the colors have spread too much. We are doing the same now at some areas because of the second reason. Returning to the iris, we'll begin with its second layer of paints, some more blue at the edge. Some more brown around the pupil. And a brown that's even darker than the previous one. We'll also darken the upper part of the eye with Prussian blue as it shows the reflection of the eyelid. Now that we have to add finer details to the eye with the tip of the same brush, we are going to take a closer look to the painting to watch how it's done. The thing we have to do here is draw irregular lines starting from the pupil and moving away from it. We'll be doing the same thing around the whole pupil, first with dark brown and then with dark green at the lower edge of the iris, just like this. Thanks to Artyshils Art Brushes once again for making tips of the round brushes pointed enough to make this possible. If you have yet not checked out our Instagram page, what are you waiting for? Go follow the page of these amazing brushes to connect with other artists using the same brushes around the world, and also shop them at jaw-dropping prices while I add some even darker shades here and there to the detailed part of the iris to increase its depth. I'm sure you won't regret being a part of an already huge family. The pupil is no doubt gonna be black, and we are doing the same here. Working a bit on the dark portions once again using black and brown. The next brush that we are going to use is brush number 4 of the round brushes set. We'll now be working on the area from which the eyelashes begin. For this, we'll be taking black paint with the brush and create dense dots with the tip of the brush. A firm border to the main reflection of the eye will make it look more prominent. Adding patches of brown here and there for some more detailings. For the reflection of the eyelashes, we'll again be using black. And now we'll move on to creating those things which add beauty to our eyes. Yes, you're right, the eyelashes. Now painting itself is a very soothing process. It has a lot to do with nature. And you would see magic when you paint in the way nature has created us. Just like our eyelashes come out of the skin, broader first, bent in the lower direction and thinner as they move away, we'll be using the same process here as well. Using the whole of the bristles first, slightly bent, and using the tip as we create the end of the lashes. For the lower lashes as well, we'll be doing the same thing, just that the lashes will be bent in the upward direction. Darkening the folded section of the skin now. Adding some shadows of the lashes with brown. And then moving on to adding some abstract veins in the eye. Time for some finishing touches. We are also waiting for the iris to dry completely while we are adding some more lashes to the eye. darkening the inner part of the eyelid to increase its depth. Now we'll take some white and add some reflections to the eye to make it look more watery. Before doing this, make sure that the applied layers are completely dried up, otherwise the colors will get mixed up and lead to undesired results. Adding some lighter shades of brown to the eyelid in the same way we did the lashes. These are the shadows of the lashes. And yet some more fine watery reflections using white, which adds to the realism of the eye. For this, I'm using white gouache paint to prevent mixing up with the lower layer. You can also use white acrylic paint. The result will be the same. Adding some white spots to the skin to make it look more real, followed by some more finishing touches. And finally, it's time for us to peel off the tapes. I guess it's the most satisfying part of the video. And after we are done with it, this is how it will look. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned something new from it. If you are trying out this artwork, do not forget to post your creation on Instagram and tag Artyshils Art Brushes and Aishwarya Expressions, as we would love to see them. Also, feel free to share your doubts and queries in the comment section. We are always here to clear them out for you. So that's all for today. Happy creating!